Hello and welcome back to Side by Side with D. Today we are not cooking. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me. Well, you are going to sit here and watch me fold these towels for a second, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video today is that we are going to be doing a small pantry tour. The pantry tour is more so because it's the middle of the month. Now, typically I like to say that I like to focus on things that are like more technical, things that'll help me become a better cook. Why am I wearing an apron? It makes me feel like I'm wearing a uniform to get myself in the mood to do these videos. But we're not necessarily cooking anything. However, I do feel like certain times of the month really shows like the type of skills that you have and just like your overall ability to like cook and make things taste good and make things taste new, and like I said before, like kind of reinvent the same things in the beginning of the month. So for me, I grocery shop mainly once a month. That's when I get like all my grains, all of my meat, frozen vegetables, any sort of canned items, anything like that. All of that happens at the beginning of the month, plus whatever fresh vegetables or fruit we're gonna have that week. After the first week, I'll go back to the grocery store, but only to get like fresh, like I said, like fresh fruits and vegetables, but any sort of like dairy products that I may need. So if I need like heavy cream, if I need, I get the butter from Costco, like the big grass-fed Kirkland brand, so I don't need that, but you get what I'm saying. Anything that will perish quickly. I like to buy those things once a week. Also, I like to get my fruit once a week because I like to kind of eat like what is kind of in season or what goes on sale, or if I see something on Pinterest and I am thinking of like a really good snack that will go well with a fruit, I can kind of change up my snacks throughout the month, so I'm not just eating the same thing all month. So, but for the most part, I grocery shop once a month. And at the beginning of the month, when you grocery shop in bulk like that, everything tastes good, right? You've got all your ingredients, you've got everything you need, you've got all the meats, all the options, all the toppings, all the cheese, and you don't really need to be like a really good cook. You just gotta have everything. Some may argue and say that the end of the month is a lot harder. I think it's a lot harder in terms of just like waiting it out. But when you have next to nothing, there's really not a lot of, there is opportunity to get creative, but it's only so much creativity you can do where you don't necessarily have to be like technical about it, if that makes sense. So like if you're down to like your last 2 packs of chicken breast and rice, you're gonna eat chicken and rice. You know what I mean? You don't have any more sour cream. You ran out of cheese. You ran out of the good butter or whatever the case may be, or any sauce that you prefer or your favorite seasonings, things like that. So to me, the end of the month is really not even the hardest because for the most part, I eat a lot of freezer meals at the end of the month. I don't prep freezer meals, like actual freezer meals. It's just if I made something and I made too much of it, or if we just had leftovers that we didn't get to and I know that it freezes well, things like that, I'll end up throwing in the freezer and I'll just take it out towards the end of the month and we'll end up eating it. But it's not like I have these freezer meals set aside specifically for the end of the month. So that's kind of what we end up doing. Or we'll just go get like some fresh ground beef and make some burgers really quick, something like that, something where it's like real easy, quick. I don't have to rely on a lot of things that I have in the house to make a meal. So that's what the end of the month looks like. Now the middle of the month, in my opinion, is where I feel like that kind of culinary light bulb has to click on. So that's what I wanted to show. I wanted to show what my pantry looks like in the middle of the month, what I'm working with, what are some of the things that I typically buy. And I think for the next month, I'm going to do a grocery haul to show what I typically buy for the month. But for this video specifically, we're going to show what we already have. And then also I want to be able to show what I'm going to cook this week and, what I'm going to use to make these meals happen. So I think we're gonna, I think we'll start with pantry stuff and then we'll move to the refrigerator. Now, when I say pantry lightly because I actually don't have a pantry. I actually don't even have cabinets. So I have cabinets. I live in a 1950s home, which means I have a 1950s kitchen. That's not the reason why I don't have cabinets. I don't have cabinets because we live on the first floor and there's someone who lives above us and their unit is identical to ours. So their kitchen is on top of our kitchen. The person who lives above us, they're our tenant. Now, they went out without my knowledge and got a new refrigerator. And they got the one with the water dispenser on it. And I don't know, I didn't even know they were getting a new refrigerator. I had no idea that someone was coming to deliver and install it. Like, we knew nothing about it. And so, all of a sudden one day, I think I was like in the living room or sitting down somewhere and I just hear like and not my dripping sink. It wasn't my dripping sink. My sink wasn't dripping at the time. It was just like a patter of like raindrops. And I'm like, that's odd. Like, it just, you know your house. I've lived here for over 5 years, well over 5 years. And you know your house. And I knew that sound did not belong in this house. Like that, I tuned that out at this point. I don't hear it. You guys probably hear it. I don't hear it. That dripping, I heard. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And I come in the kitchen, and I'll show you in a second. It looks like it started to like pull down, and it's just like a small drip onto the floor. We go and investigate. Turns out she went and got a new refrigerator, the one with the ice maker and the water dispenser on the front of it. And they ran, so I'll show you now. Our kitchen setup. So the sink is here and it goes all the way over. These are like the main cabinets to the refrigerator. They ran a pipe from the sink so the bottom of their sink cabinets went all the way around to the refrigerator. The problem with that is, I guess whoever did it, I don't know if they didn't notice that the pipe that they used had like a bunch of micro holes, or over time it created holes. Something about it, I don't know what happened, but there ended up being holes in the pipe that they used, that they ran from the sink to the refrigerator, which caused a leakage. So now all of their bottom cabinets are completely soaked in water because the water is just filling up, and I'm pretty sure that they have the cabinets closed, so they're not seeing it. It went from their bottom cabinets all the way through to all of our top cabinets. And so all of our top cabinets are ruined and just have like complete water damage. We're working with a contractor now. Hopefully within the next few weeks, we are doing a kitchen demolition to get a new kitchen for this unit and for the upstairs. But the damage has been done. So in the meantime, I technically have cabinets. I do not use them. The water has dried up. We had a plumber come out. They fixed the issue. So the water has dried up since then, but this house, because it's like a 1950s home, all of the cabinets are built into the wall. Like a lot of the newer model homes, you'll see they have like those pop-out cabinets where you can literally like pop them in and pop them out. These are literally built into the wall, so you have to completely just rip them all off. There is no like popping them in and out. So that is something that we are hopefully doing soon. But because of the water damage that happened, and I mean, like, I had like a bunch of boxes, like, like granola boxes and things like that, and everything got wet and got ruined, and I had to throw everything away. And that hurt my little heart. So I keep my pantry items now on this shelf here that I used to be a bookshelf for me, and is now in here. And then also I have a few bins under this thingy that I keep in, and I'm gonna show you right now what my setup looks like. Okay, so starting with this island, which is actually not like a built-in island. I got this from IKEA a really long time ago, at least 5-6 years ago, for under $100, I'm sure. And I love it. I'm never getting rid of this thing. I don't care if or when we renovate. I don't care when we move. This thing is staying with me. This is a little rack that I ordered off of Amazon just to go under here to give myself some more space, because as you know, and you see me go into that thing a lot, this is where I keep all of our pots and pans. So I have officially run out of space in there. So I have to put some of the bigger items like this pressure cooker in here and this Vitamix. These are things that I don't really use as often, but I didn't want them to get damaged. And like this, because it's plastic, I did not want this to get damaged in there with the other stuff. And then I have some stainless steel pots here and pans. This is where I keep all my dish towels that you just saw me fold up. I have some on the other side of this. I keep like plastic wraps, sandwich bags, things that I can grab really quick. Parchment paper, but I'm out. So I also keep that over here. These are things, like I said, I can grab, and I don't really have to have any issues with locating them. This is a vegetable chopper. To be honest with you, I rarely ever use this, and I don't know if it's something that I will purchase again if something ever happened to this one. These are my bins that I keep things in, so I'm just gonna show you what that looks like. I mean, this is what I throw like dirty dish towels in, and I just leave that here, and then when it gets full, I just take it downstairs to do the dishes. This is where I keep some jars, and then you'll see like the tops are in that thing there, and this is what I'm talking about as far as like the other dish towels. And then I keep this surface cleaner here. But I'm gonna show you these two bins first. This one, the lid won't close because it's a little full, but that's because the Super Bowl was yesterday. Super Bowl was yesterday. My boyfriend's a huge Eagles fan, so if you know, you know. We had a great time. So these are some of the leftover chips. I have made like a couple different dips, so we have some chips here. But this is, I guess, our resident snack bin. We have some granola bars in here. Let's see. Some more chips. We have some marshmallows, but that's because I made Rice Krispie treats yesterday. We have some granola, loose granola, and granola bars. We have some Oreos and some dried cranberries. So, we also have some almonds. So we have a few things in here. Usually it's not that many bags of chips, but again, Super Bowl yesterday. I'm just gonna leave that for now. And then this one is, I don't even know what this one is. It's kind of like a throwaway bin. It's literally almond flour crackers, some semolina flour, and some dried lavender flowers. Now these are edible, and I plan on doing a video very, very soon of all the different ways that I can use lavender flower. I bought it because, as you remember, I was talking about I wanted to make that dessert for the girls trip. It was like a lavender lemon creme brulee pie tart. That still never had a name. Obviously I didn't need this whole bag for that, but this is just what was available to me online because I did not have any lavender in any of the grocery stores that I went to near me. And I need to figure out what to do with it. I know that it'll last a long time. It's saying up until February 2026. So I'm not necessarily saying that I have to use this whole bag, but I need to find a purpose for it because I don't want it to be like a one-use type of thing. I love lavender, and I love lavender drinks. I have this bag of lemons here. Once I'm done with this video, I'm gonna make a huge batch of lavender lemonade. That's one of my favorite lavender drinks. Lavender lemonade, it's really good. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. It's really easy. You just boil the lavender with some sugar to kind of make like a simple syrup. You do your lemonade how you normally do your lemonade, and boom, you have lavender lemonade. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a hot, oh yes, I was about to say hot honey. A hot chocolate honey lavender, I said that backwards. A honey lavender hot chocolate. Honey lavender hot chocolate. I had it at a cafe and I was thoroughly surprised. It was really, really good. So we're gonna replicate that. And I also wanted to do something savory, and that wasn't a drink. And that was lavender roast chicken. I keep seeing it and it looks so good. And to me, in my head, it just makes sense. So we're gonna be doing a video of all the different ways we can use lavender. But for now, this is kind of like the odd guy box. Eventually, I do need to get some sort of bin to put this in. So those are my small bins. I have my big bin, And Big Ben has most of my grains. So I'm not picking this thing up because it is kind of heavy and it has wheels, and the wheels are kind of stuck in the grooves of this thing, so it's fine. I have this quick instant yellow rice. As you can see, I haven't actually used it, but it's good to have in case of an emergency. I have some pasta here. This is a fusilli pasta. I like to use this. I'm actually going to make a stroganoff. I'm going to show you the meatballs that I'm going to use to make it. And it's one of my favorite dishes to make. It comes together really quick and it's really easy. It's one of those pasta dishes that doesn't feel like a pasta dish. We have some more pasta, some ziti. I have this mac and cheese that's been in here for not that long. Let's see, October 2025. We have time. We have some more pasta noodles, There's half a bag of jasmine rice. And I have this huge bag here of basmati rice that I got from Costco. I buy this once a year. And as you can see, it is 2 months into the new year, and I'm still working with the bag from last year. It's fine. It says it's good up until 2026, but it definitely goes a long way. I also have egg noodles. I guess I could actually use, I feel like the egg noodles will go better in that. So basically, when I was talking about, where'd they go? Oh. When I was talking about these noodles, the fusilli, I guess fusilli noodles, I was talking about a stroganoff, but I think the stroganoff would actually taste better with the egg noodles, so I might do that. But yeah, we just have pasta and rice in here. Nothing else really goes in here. And that's pretty much what I have for the stacks of bins. Now, if you come over here, I have a bunch of vinegars that I buy the bulk from Costco, so I have a couple of them. I keep some of like wine jars, or like this one had tequila in it. I keep them if I ever decide like I want to make coquito, or if I want to make like a specialty drink or something like that. I have bottles to do so. Let's see. Oh, I have these peppers from, I had made a homemade birria and I had some leftover peppers. I need to process this. I don't actually have to make the birria because, so when I originally made it, I made enough that I was able to save some of it as just like a base and put it in the freezer. And I was able to take that out and I used it on chicken to make quesadillas, and they were so good. So I actually need to process these so I can go ahead and make the paste. I have some whole tomatoes. Instead of buying tomato sauce, like pasta sauce in a jar, I like to just make it. So I pick up one of these 3-packs whenever I go to Costco. So this is for my last month. I didn't use a lot of tomato products last month, and I just got one for this month. So I'm probably not gonna get one for next month. I have a few tomato paste left, so I'll have to get another box of that. This is Trader Joe's salted caramel hot cocoa that I love. We've got some chopped walnuts. I bought this a while ago in like a panic buy when I didn't think that I had any. Can you see it? It's not focusing. It's like a beef base. I didn't think I had any at home, and so I panic bought it. But these are like really hard. I don't know, like I've never had a good experience with those, so I'm probably never going to use them. I have this can of tuna. Now for the stroganoff, this is what I like to do. I like to go to Trader Joe's and get the organic cream of mushroom that's not in the can. And I like to use this with some sour cream, some Boursin cheese, and a seasoning that Trader Joe's has. I can show you. This umami seasoning. When you put all those things together with the meatballs and the egg noodles, it turns out to be a really, really good dish. So there's some diced tomatoes. I ran out of that, so I need to get some more. We have green beans. Green beans are probably the only vegetable that I do not like frozen. I feel like it has like this hard, bitter bite about it that it almost feels like freezer burn. So I like to get those canned. I forgot to pick up canned corn, frozen corn, so I just grabbed these when I saw it. Back here, oh, we have some pectin when I like to make jam. This is my favorite curry powder, the Madras curry powder. We have some grits that I have not used, some peanut butter. This is a butternut squash soup, and we have some beans. So we have a lot of options here to make things. And then on this shelf, is where I like to keep condiments. So, don't mind those. We do have this big thing of black pepper. We have some coconut oil, shortening, avocado oil, hot honey, regular honey. Honey came in a jar. However, the jar was somehow leaking all over the place, so I ended up having to put it in here. Baking powder, different types of hot sauces, some browning, some sweet cooking rice wine. This is a balsamic glaze. We have some molasses, some gochujang paste. This I keep here. These are like those little lunch trays, and the papers. I got that because sometimes, like, I feel like everything doesn't always require a dish, but I don't keep paper plates in the house. So this is a good way because these are just reusable, and I just buy the papers. They're only like $3 or $4 on Amazon, and it works out really well. And then up here, we have some ice cream in the freezer, so I just have these out. But this is where I keep like seasonings. I don't think I have any left. This is where I normally keep, a house seasoning blend that I ran out, so I need to make more. These are some of my smaller Penzi spices that if they get left on my spice rack, it kind of gets forgotten about. We have some chicken bouillon seasoning. I like to do this more like so for like Spanish foods. I'm Puerto Rican, so I do make Spanish food from time to time. This is Dominican oregano that I just reused a jar. We've got some cinnamon, some garlic powder, salts. So we have a fine salt and a kosher salt. We have our black pepper, and that's why we have that big jug, because this is like the automatic pepper dispenser. We have some flour that I like to keep on hand because I keep my flour in a different area and it's kind of hard to reach. So this is easy when I need to just thicken something up. And powdered sugar. But I do keep my, can I show you? I think I can show you. This is like a little coffee station that we have. It's more so like coffee, tea. This is my ring light right here. It's on it. See, it's kind of blocking it. But I keep like my tea bags here, some loose leaf tea here. We have some hot chocolate, some more tea. And then we keep like our coffee in coffee pods down here, and some cups that are more like coffee mugs and stuff and not like regular drinking cups. But if we go all the way down here, you see this compartment. This is where I keep my bulk flour, sugar, brown sugar, things like that. And then over there is where I keep an extra bottle of water and some other drinks that don't necessarily have to go in the fridge right now. So this happens to be some leftovers. Again, Super Bowl was yesterday, so I had made some homemade pizza, some homemade dip, and that's more homemade pizza. I can show you. It's probably not gonna look as good because it's cold and I stuffed it in here, but this was grandma slices. So it's vodka sauce with fresh mozzarella, and this was so good. And this one has a little bit of both in there, I think, but I did a meat lovers. And what I did was I used the San Marzano tomatoes, blended it up, seasoned it, put that down, and then I had ground up some pork sausage. I ground it up actually just ground pork, and I flavored the sausage myself. I fried up some bacon, and I got some pepperonis, and so it's a meat lovers. And this one was definitely a hit, and probably the favorite out of the two. We just got some juice, some milk. Down here is probably more of the things that I have to use. You can see a lot of like Tupperwares and things like that. This is condensed milk. I opened it because I needed just a half a cup for the Rice Krispies, and now I have to figure out what to do with the other half. I have a few ideas, so I'm still kind of contemplating that. This is some bacon grease that I had from making the meat lovers pizza that I can use for anything. Those are just some herbs back there. This is a sauce that I get from I think I talked about it on here before. I get it from this Mediterranean spot called Effie's. They have their Effie special sauce. I cannot figure out what is in it, and I can't Google it or find what is in it, but it is quite literally one of the best sauces that I've ever had at a place. This is leftover ground pork that I made from the sausage. What I'm gonna do later this week is I'm actually gonna take that rigatoni. I'm gonna take the rigatoni, I'm gonna take the leftover vodka sauce here, the leftover San Marzano tomatoes that I blended up with the leftover tomato paste, and we're gonna do a nice creamy rigatoni sausage pasta. So that's how we'll use that. I have some pickled onions here that I want to eat up. I do have 2 plantains that I need to use, and there's this dish called, oh man, I don't want to butcher it, I can't think of the name, but it's basically when you cut the plantain down the middle, you roast it, and then you add cheese. I want to do that with some pickled onions and some ground beef. So I'm going to use some of the pickled onions for that. I think that's just a tomato soup back there that I have open, and some farina. And here is where I like to usually keep like dairy products. Let's just angle this down. So we've got butter, we've got sour cream. Oh, this was celery that I was supposed to use for the wings yesterday, and I forgot. That's okay. We have some more fresh mozzarella. This is not actually Parmesan, it is the Boursin cheese. I like to put it in a airtight container because I don't like for it to get like super hard and crumbly. Some cream cheese. We have a piece left of this Colby Jack. We have some pepper jack. We have some Gouda. We needed this Velveeta yesterday to make the queso dip. I don't normally eat Velveeta, but I just wanted to follow the recipe, and it did turn out really well. This is a Cabot, if you can see, cheddar cheese. It says Alpine. And some more butter, and then some more butter here. So what I want to do with this Velveeta, with this Colby Jack, and even with some of this Gouda, is to take some of this sour cream and do a cheesy chicken broccoli bake this week. That'll help get rid of some of those ingredients. I'm gonna take this pepper jack cheese, I'm gonna shred it up, and I have this beef in the freezer that I've never purchased before, but it's almost like, it's not shredded, but it's not minced. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna use that to make tacos, so I'll use that for that. And then again, this cheese will go in that rigatoni bake. So I'll do a good job of using up those dairy products. And this is, oh, I guess it couldn't fit in there. This is some of the cheese that I use for the pizza, some apples, and the pepperoni that I use. I'll probably just end up freezing these. I freeze cheese all the time, and it's fine, and pepperoni, it's fine. So now over here, we just have some Cutwaters from the Super Bowl. We have some dressings. I like this Sky Valley taco sauce. We have some Dijon, some fig and ginger jam. This is really good. I like the Brianna's, the Asiago Caesar dressing, but I use the one with avocado oil, but my family does not, so I just keep one for them. We've got some jalapenos, some mustard, and just regular mayo and stuff. So I know I'll use this for the jalapenos for the tacos, and that'll be good. And then up here, we've got some Japanese barbecue sauce, we've got Worcestershire sauce, sweet soy sauce. We have beef and chicken bouillon base. I have some, what is this? Baking soda in the freezer, some cherries, and some yeast. So these things I'm not really too worried about because they last a lot longer. So we have some pierogies. These are pierogies that I've gotten from Costco. I have made pierogies before and they came out really well. It is very labor intensive. So I think for me to make pierogies, they'd have to be like a specialty flavored pierogi, or else I'm just gonna buy the regular ones. And what I can do is, because I have some heavy cream, I have that, oh, I have that celery, I have corn, I have onions. I can do a pierogi soup with this. That'll be good. We have some, we did pigs in a blanket, so we have some of these hot dogs left. the sweet potato gnocchi, which is really good. This is something that I will probably only eat on my own, so I'll just have this as a side or like for lunch or something like that with a piece of chicken. I got stuff falling up. This salmon, to me, it freezes fine. I just thawed it in the fridge overnight, so I'm not really pressed to use that. I will say the only prepped, I don't have too many prep things in here. This is spaghetti that I made, and I have made a lot of it, and so it literally says just add noodles. So whenever I need like a nice lunch, or if my family's like eating out for dinner or something like that, I'll just go ahead and eat spaghetti. And that's easy to thaw and reheat. We've got some breakfast sausage. This is meatballs in a sauce. It says sauce because it's almost like this barbecue type of sauce. It is really good though. These are chicken cutlets that I made. I only have one left, so I need to make some more. I like to keep chicken cutlets if I'm making salads, if I'm making sandwiches, if I'm making some sort of pasta dish or anything like that. I love having cutlets on hand because to me it is a pain to make them, but it's so worth having them. So, and these are some homemade waffles that I have made. So I just have 3 left. But this is all the chicken that I have. Now I buy the big packs of chicken from Costco in bulk, and I just kind of stack them here. I like to put the paper down, just, I don't know, it just gives me a little bit of peace of mind. And I like to stack the chicken on the side. And we have some breaded chicken and some more breaded chicken. And we just move this stuff over. Now over here we have 3 packets grass-fed ground beef that I get from, what's this place called? Aldi. So I only got 3 because we eat beef about once a week, maybe sometimes even twice, and so this will be good for 3 weeks. And then we still have, this is the beef that I was telling you about. It's extra thin carne picada. So I guess that's what it is. I can't really see it anymore because it's kind of frosted, but like it says here, terrific for tacos. So that's kind of what when I saw it, and I was thinking, I was like, okay, cool, I'll use that from some sort of taco. And then here we have 1, sorry, this is 1 big chuck roast that I will make some sort of pot roast, or I will use to make birria or something like that. And then we have some fish in the back. So it's good to go ahead in your freezer and just take a look, because it's kind of giving me some ideas of like, okay, what am I gonna use this month, or how am I gonna use it, or, you know, kind of keep stock of what you have. This is gonna keep sliding. Oh, and I forgot to show you. Up here, outside of this ice pack, we have a bunch of frozen vegetables. So there's broccoli back there, there's carrots, there's cauliflower, this is chopped spinach, bell peppers. So I like to keep my frozen vegetables over there. And then up here, I just have these sofritos. I've had them literally for months. I don't use them because I have my own right here. So I make a big batch. I put them in an ice tray, and then I just have like these little individual cubes that I can just go ahead and pop into a dish whenever I need them. So that stays there. I like to keep any random last pieces of bread that I have in case I ever need something to like thicken something up. It kind of works out really well for me. And that's why you see this 1 piece of bread. I think one time I was like making meatballs. I'm like, no, I don't have any, because I like to have bread and soak the bread in milk instead of using breadcrumbs. So I like to just keep like a lone piece of bread in the freezer for that in case I ever forget to have bread. I had made a macaroni and cheese dish a couple weeks ago, and we had leftovers, so the next day I took it and used a cookie scoop and I freeze them. So this will make mac and cheese bites. Basically what you do is you'll go ahead and dip it in flour, dip it in egg batter, and then the breadcrumbs, and you'll just fry them up really quick, and they come out so good. They taste just like the Cheesecake Factory ones. You can even go ahead and get you some marinara sauce, and I swear you really will not know the difference. These are the meatballs that I made. So these are our herbaceous onion and garlic meatballs. It has sage in it, and they're turkey. So they're 100% ground turkey, and they taste so good. It almost tastes like an herbal meatloaf. And these are Italian meatballs. Oh, you can't see. These are Italian meatballs here. So I do have some things that I have here that are pre-prepped and ready to go. So that does make me happy because I feel like I have a lot of options for the rest of the month, even going into the next month. So for the next month, what I can do is I don't need any more chicken. I can focus on like those cuts that I don't necessarily feel like I have the budget for usually in the beginning of the month, like steak, maybe like more seafood options, things like that, which they're a little bit more costly, but because I already have like the basics, I can go ahead and spend a little bit more for those cuts of meat that we do enjoy, but we just don't get to have as often. Now, with all of that being said, that is pretty much what I have in my kitchen right now. Again, it is the middle of the month and my wheels are kind of turning a little bit as to what it is exactly that I'll be making. So I just kind of want to, I have a little planner in my phone. It's actually on my iPad, but it connects to my phone for meals. And I usually take whatever the menu that I'm going to have for the week and print it out and post it on the fridge. Let's see here. So tonight, because we have all that Super Bowl food left over, we're just going to go ahead and munch on it. It's going to be a bunch of different appetizers. Same vibes as yesterday. We're going to go ahead and eat them so that they don't go to waste. Tomorrow we'll do the Italian sausage pasta. And I'm thinking even though I said that I don't want it to be like I really want this channel to stay, especially because I'm just in the beginning, right? And I'm really just trying to figure it out. I want to stay on topic, and the topic is trying things we've never done before. So usually, like I said, I don't film myself making dinner because I'm usually just kind of in my zone. I'm listening to YouTube videos, or I'm listening to a book, or I'm just kind of throwing things together. It's not really technical. It's just kind of like however I feel. But because we're talking about the middle of the month, and we're talking about how, in my opinion, the middle of the month is the hardest because you do have to kind of get a little bit creative. I think it'll be a good idea to kind of show you what I make. I don't know if I'm going to do like a start to finish. Obviously, this video will be too long for that. But I can at least show you some of the steps that I do to go through these meals, and definitely show you the finished product and what I used. So we can do that. So tomorrow we'll do an Italian sausage cheesy pasta. Wednesday we can do that chicken and rice bake. I'm so excited for that. I feel like it'll break up the pasta because I feel like we have pizza and then we'll have pasta and then we'll have rice. And then on Thursday we'll do the stroganoff with meatballs. So we're gonna have some very comfort driven foods this week. Again, I usually like to mix it up. Like I'll do one beef, one chicken, some sort of like fish or seafood, and the fourth one is kind of whatever it ends up being. But maybe like I really use turkey, but maybe like something like some sort of ground turkey or something like that. But I like to do one, if like I only like to do typically pasta once a week. I only do pasta once a week. I'll do rice once or twice a week. And I usually have some sort of potato dish, but surprisingly right now I don't have any potatoes. Again, I do have, oh yeah, I do have to make this. So don't scream or don't cry. They're black, but they're supposed to be black because they're plantains. And I'm somebody that I like sweet plantains. Like I like my, like sweet, like super sweet. So these are right where I want them. So I do have to use these tomorrow actually, but you know what? Oh, I can make that for lunch. I don't have a lunch and we'll be done with the Super Bowl food tonight. So I can do this for lunch. And I just have shallots in here, and I'll just throw shallots in whatever meal. I usually keep my onions right here. They hang in a little bag, but the shallots are to the side. But anyways, like I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, I usually keep potatoes in the house. I don't have any potatoes right now, so that's fine. I do have French fries, but I don't have any potatoes. So anyways, this week is kind of, I don't know, it kind of feels like it's very like rich in flavors, like it's like very flavor forward, I would say. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I have to keep in mind to not make super big portions, because that is very hard for me. I come from a family of 5, and so I'm still to this day getting used to not cooking for a large group of people. It's very hard to adjust. I've gotten better. I've gotten better, especially because my boyfriend is not somebody who really loves leftovers. So if it's not something like a pasta or something like that, he really doesn't like leftovers. So I've gotten better at making smaller portions, but I have to keep that in mind only because a lot of these dishes that I'm making this week is either like in a casserole or like a pasta dish, and you can kind of get a little carried away. So with all that being said, we have our menu for this week. I feel like it's great. I know I have to process these, so maybe we'll use that chuck roast next week and do something like birria based. I did like it with the chicken. Obviously, I love it with the beef, and that's like the traditional way of doing it. But the chicken was a really good way of using it, and I think I want to do that again. So I'm already thinking of the week after this one. Let me stop myself. Let's get through this week, and if it goes well, if I remember to continue to pick up the camera while I'm cooking dinner, then I can even go until the next week and I can show you for the last 2 weeks of the month what I made. So this will be a video for this week, and then we'll do the last week, which you've already seen everything that I have and what I'm working with. So it won't necessarily be anything new, and how I use the rest of what I have to get us through all the way up until the next month. So that is pretty much what I have. I'm about to start processing these lemons to make us some lemonade and get one of my books on. Right now, I'm listening to book 2 of the Blood Mercy series. The author's name is Vila Roth, and it's so good. If you like romanticy, if you like vampires, if you like books that are like a slow burn, has like that political aspect to it, you are going to love the Blood Mercy series. It is written so well. So I'm on book 2 right now, which is Blood Solace. And I am a little bit over halfway through with it, so I'm gonna put that on. The audio is so good. So I'm excited. I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna start squeezing these lemons, and go birds. Bye.